The NPP tried to impeach me when you were away. These are the words of President John Dramani Mahama to the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyemang. Or say now MPP wanted to overthrow him. The MPP wanted to remove him from power. Really, is this what John Dramani Mahama is doing? Or say they threatened to impeach him. That means that MPP for no you. More person will impeach impeachment about this system we have now. In this dispensation, in this political space that we are in now. You want to start something. I mean, Donald Trump, not USA, Donald Trump in his first tenure, now he was being impeached. Like I think said there were attempts of impeachment against Donald Trump. Now, I think the NPP want to do the same thing. Sir, sir, it got to a time. I think the minority were even asking, sir, who is actually governing the country now? Because at a point, President John Dramani Mahama was not around, was not in the country. Vice President Nana Opoku-Agyemang also was not in the country because of obvious reasons. None home for now. And Speaker of Parliament, because when we say President in our constitution, say President not a Vice President and a woman. Say Vice President the Speaker of Parliament. He steps in to govern or rule the nation. Now, all these three were not available. All these three were not there. Now, as these three are not there, now it begs the question, say, what becomes of our economy? What becomes of the country? Because we still need a leader. That's the issue. We say we need somebody to become the acting leader. And I say, for the meantime, you need somebody to be playing the role of a leader. And so if all these three are not there, then where are we heading? What becomes of us as a nation? And these are the concerns that the NPP raised about 3 weeks ago. But I didn't know, sir, they had plans of impeaching our president, John Dramani Mahama. And can you say Mahama and Kasini Bina no kanye abra vice president? Unse Opoku-Agyemang owo abrochi kakra akopɛ yaresa. Na wasan ni no wayɛ den nyame adom no wayɛ den. But Obaya, I say Mahama, a jail of Jubilee House, no need in Katahudi, That way you review to him say, then Asuma, the NPP, now they try impeach me. So, for the benefit of education here, for the benefit of those who do not know or might want to be refreshed on their memories more on what really the word impeach means or the impeachment, what do they mean? So, Charlie, I want to give you some meanings about the word impeach or impeachment, at least to situate this matter. So that at least you know what we are talking about and then where we are trying to go or where we are trying to drive at. Now, impeach means to charge a public official, typically a president or judge, with misconduct while in office. It's a formal process used to hold officials accountable for violations or abuses of power. If impeachment is successful, it can lead to their removal from office, but it depends on further proceedings, usually in a legislative body like a parliament or Congress. It's a powerful tool in democratic systems meant to ensure leaders act responsibly. So what it clearly means, it is not actually removing you, but you be examine your behavior. You be sure unyama bia wo ye se nyama wo ye no. First of all, if you na egu akunya ni hu fin say you are the president of the country now. Obama ama man pin ahwe some style bi hu say, oh, Chinese country, what kind of leader bia na need dey be na video mu na wo share. If your video be wo club a wo ne massa wo bubu mu a wo twi soroku twi obato. What they are saying, a misconduct. Secondly, you are abusing power. Because of power, 2 years, maybe I will pay like, bobo a man for 2 years, maybe. And no, it's me, shame. Now you impeach you because they are, you want to say a good a binding thing. Secondly, etia amanfo so omo fa hudi so na ade enu ntia na sisi ano sei na Google and I say in a dictionary is not explaining what the word impeachment means. Then what really has the president done? John Dramani Mahama done to warrant an impeachment? NPP, this is a question I'm asking you. What has John Dramani Mahama done? Has he acted in any bad taste? Has he actually acted in bad manner, like in a detestful manner that warrants that he is impeached? Has he unlawfully executed anything that really go beyond his power? Yes, we know he's the all-powerful because he is the ruler and the first man of the land. But John Dramani Mahama, minimum in the past 5 months, after assuming office on 7th January, hasn't done anything that will warrant an impeachment. But this is what John Dramani Mahama has done. And he has really exposed the NPP. You see, they have plans of doing that. I am the unofficial reporter, like I always say. Now, President John Dramani Mahama ascribed to Vice President Professor Jane Opoku-Agyemang following her return from a health trip abroad. Speaking during a meeting at the presidency, President John expressed relief at the return of the vice president. According to John Mahama, he missed Jane Naana's presence as her absence has complicated his duties, including a trip to Togo that sparked threats of impeachment from the NPP opposition. Na akọkwa ti say okopiem Togo, otukwa Togo. Intoni hono, ya say President Bernard Kakari otukwa you are acting in bad taste. You're not responsible. That's how they saw Mahama. That's the reason why they just wanted to impeach him. Does this really call for impeachment? Does this really call for impeachment? And this is the question I am asking the NPP. I am not doing any politics here or partisan reportage here. No, I am not a partisan reportage. Maybe assembly won't be able to. John Mahama's comment comes on the heels of the minority in parliament saying it is considering impeachment proceedings against President John Dramani Mahama. Wow. The NPP accuses him of orchestrating what they call an egregious constitutional breach that has left the country without an acting president. According to the minority, President Mahama violated the 1992 Constitution following the simultaneous absence of the president, the vice president, and the speaker of parliament from the country without an acting president being sworn in. They noted that all these three top officials or these three top government officials were abroad at the same time. Jane Opoku-Agyemang, the vice president in the UK for medical treatment, and President John Dramani Mahama was also at the African Union Debt Conference in Togo. Speaker Magraheb was also out of the country. With all these three officials unavailable, Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu is also on suspension and is unable to step in. Speaking in an interview with Joy News, John Dako, the Member of Parliament for Swame, stated, "As people of Ghana, we must all fight against the act of the president. The problem is that at the time the president was leaving, the Speaker of Parliament had already left. So when the president chose to travel, he knew, or at the very least ought to have known, that his departure would create a vacuum and constitute a breach of the Constitution. But Emperor Mr. President decided, I am the president and I can do whatever I like. Damn the consequences, and left the country." He continued, "Is that why we voted for the president? To violate our constitution? We will keep bringing this up, and at the appropriate time, if we must invoke the impeachment provisions, we will do so. We will not sit idly by while the constitution entrusted to us is violated without consequences." So clearly, this is what the Member of Parliament for Swame constituency has said about our President John Dramani Mahama. Listen, he had to go and take official duties. I mean, he was going to represent the country at the African Union Debt Conference in Togo. Why are you blasting him? Is it not work? So this is not Boapayo, and I said this is not intentional or trying to abuse power here. No, don't worry. That's why he has able ministers around. He has able interior minister. He has able regional ministers and mayors across the board to make sure say everything is in place.
I particularly have missed you because even traveling out of the country has been difficult. They've threatened to impeach me for for going to Togo when you were away. So you are warmly welcome. We are grateful to all the staff outside there who looked after you. Our embassy staff in London. I came there myself, and you told me how courteous they had been and how they had been of help.
And you know, these are the comments of John Dramani Mahama. Somebody was saying about the impeachment process plans by the NPP or a cross section of the NPP, the minority caucus in Parliament. Bidi Eric Obiajete, share your thoughts on this matter. Please don't forget to also share this video. Send me a for Ashe. My name, like I always say, I do this for God and the country. Until we meet again, I'll see you in the next video. Salute.